Right now, the Bulls are a mess, and I'm being kind. 8th spot in the Eastern Conference, one game below 500. Their struggles came to a boil last night against the Hawks. Jimmy Butler, Dwyane, they're doing their thing offensively, trying to keep this season in a positive note. 33 points for Wade, 40 for Butler, gets a 4-point play there. They're up by 9, but then they would fall apart. 10-point lead, Millsap is good. Hawks within 7. Then Schroeder, wide open 3. Good. They're within 4. They scored 41 points in the fourth quarter. Where's the defense? Good ball movement here. Tim Hardaway Jr. It's now a 1-point game. Schroeder, they go on an 11-0 run in less than 2 minutes, and they're up. Now 40 seconds to go. We're tied at 112. Schroeder penetrating. Bazemore to Dwight Howard. Again, ball movement. Everybody getting a good look. Howard had 16 points. Listen to the Hawks broadcast at the end.
Somebody better call the Chicago PD. There has been a robbery at the United Center.
Yeah, 19-4 run by Atlanta. The Bulls blow a 10-point lead. Butler, D-Wade, strong message afterwards.
Just got to care if we win or lose. In end of the day, do whatever it takes to help the team win. You play your role to the team, be a star in your role, man. That's how you win in this league, man. You have to embrace what this team, what this organization needs for you to do on either end of the floor. And on top of everything else, man, just play every position. I mean, every possession like it's your last. We don't play hard all the time, man. It's very disappointing whenever we don't play hard.
You know, I don't know what happened. I don't know how you fix it. It just doesn't mean enough for guys around here to want to win ball games. And, you know, it pisses me off, but I can't be frustrated and I can't care too much for these guys. They got to care for themselves. I wish I could say that everyone in here is going to go home and not eat tonight. I can't say that, you know, so I wish I could, you know, but I don't know if it hurts enough. You know, games like this are supposed to hurt you. You know, you weren't supposed to sleep. You don't want to talk to nobody. These games supposed to hurt, but I don't know if that is in the guys in this locker room. I'm 35 years old, man. You know, I got 3 championships. It shouldn't hurt me more than it hurt these young guys. They have to want it, and if they don't want it, then we'll show up. We'll play Friday. Hopefully we win. If we don't, we'll go to dinner again. Keep it going until the season's over. So it has to change. It has to hurt inside to lose games like this. This should hurt.
Whoa. D-Wade was like, I'm a grown man, dog. These kids got to worry about it more than me. Butler and D-Wade, they could have used some help. They each scored 30 in the same game for the first time as teammates. How about combined 73 of the team's 114 points? They had as many threes as the rest of their teammates, and they made 75% of the team's free throws. They brought the offense. I'm not sure what happened to the defense in that fourth quarter, and that was a strong message. Tim Legler now with us here. When you hear the 2 stars come out with the same message that the rest of the team doesn't care, what's wrong with this Bull squad right now?
Well, here's what's so unusual and interesting about those comments, because you typically don't hear it. That didn't have any connotation in there about the coaching, which is very interesting, because typically when teams underachieve, which I think this team has, when teams are struggling, when teams have a meltdown the way that they did last night and blowing a 10-point lead in the last 3 minutes of a game, typically the comments are going to be directed in some way, shape, or form toward the coaches. That wasn't the case here. These guys are talking about the guys that are putting on uniforms next to them. And what they're referring to is basically a lack of professionalism. Now, I don't know what it is that they're seeing on a daily basis, and they didn't say anybody's name specifically, but he made references to the young guys and these guys and them and all of those things. Basically, what Dwyane Wade is saying he's seeing on a daily basis doesn't add up to what it takes to win at the NBA level. And that's a very interesting comment, because I played 10 years in the NBA. I played on some bad teams. I played on some really good teams. And on the bad teams, when they were struggling, typically when you would hear a flare-up or your leader of your team would go off toward the media, it would be something that you could infer. He was talking about the coaching and the direction that they were going in there and not getting enough, not being prepared enough, those types of things. That wasn't the case. In fact, one of the reporters, I listened to all of that postgame, one of the reporters tried to get him to go there.
Hoiberg, right?
Yes, and didn't want to. He didn't want to go there because he brought up a question about, does this have anything to do with lack of attention to detail on game day? That's a coaching question, and Dwyane Wade completely dismissed it. So that was interesting to me because typically that's where they go, not towards your teammates, but that's exactly where this was directed. And it was interesting. You look at what they did last night to melt down at the end of that game. You know, I think they took 5 threes in the last 3 minutes of the game. They had some bad possessions. They had a shot get blocked at the rim. They gave up 119 points. So, you know, I don't know exactly what he's talking about. And now I think it's going to be interesting to see what happens going forward because there's going to be follow-ups to this. What are we talking about, man? Who are you talking about? Those kinds of things. And I'm sure he's not going to mention anybody by name. This is something that internally right now really needs to be dealt with. And, you know, I'm not a big fan of players-only meetings. If I ever heard there was one to be needed, it sounds like it's right here.
Yes, no doubt about it.
Okay, because this is something that's pretty inflammatory toward the rest of the guys on that roster. And if you're one of those guys, you know who he's talking about. Because if that was me, and I know I went about my business the right way every day, I wouldn't be offended by that. Because you know who he's talking about if you're in that locker room, even if you're one of the culprits. That's what's going to be interesting. Let's see what happens now going forward. But there's no doubt it's been a disappointment. Under 500 for this team. I had higher expectations.
Yeah, 23-24. We'll see how this plays out.